In the swinging 60s, few bands embodied rebellion, sex, drugs, and rock and roll quite like the Rolling Stones. But in 1967, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards found themselves at the center of one of rock music's most infamous drug busts, an incident that nearly derailed their careers and cemented their outlaw reputation. On February 12, 1967, police raided Keith Richards' estate, Redlands, in Sussex, England. The party, attended by Mick Jagger, Marianne Faithfull, and other close friends, was in full swing when officers, allegedly tipped off by British tabloid News of the World, stormed the house. This wasn't just an ordinary police raid. It was a targeted takedown of rock's most controversial band, orchestrated to make an example of them. At the time, the Stones were already under heavy media scrutiny for their wild lifestyle. Just a week before the bust, News of the World published an article accusing Jagger, Richards, and Brian Jones of drug use, fueling the public perception that the band was leading youth astray. The paper had been caught in a legal battle with Jagger over false claims, and the Redlands raid was seen by many as revenge and a warning to rock musicians. The most salacious detail of the Redlands drug bust was the urban legend about Marianne Faithfull. According to tabloid reports, police allegedly found her wearing nothing but a fur rug, a detail that fed into the Stones' image as decadent, hedonistic rock gods. While the police confiscated small amounts of LSD, marijuana, and amphetamines, the real crime, in the eyes of the establishment, was the band's defiance of authority. Jagger and Richards were arrested and charged with drug possession, while Brian Jones was arrested later under similar circumstances. Jagger was sentenced to 3 months in prison, and Richards received a full year behind bars. The verdict sparked outrage in the music world, and even the Times of London, a traditionally conservative newspaper, ran an editorial titled, "Who Breaks a Butterfly on a Wheel?" criticizing the severity of the punishment. The public backlash forced the British justice system to reevaluate the case, and both sentences were eventually overturned on appeal. By then, the damage had already been done. The Stones were now the ultimate rock and roll outlaws, and their rebellious, drug-fueled image was solidified in music history. The Redlands bust changed everything. It marked the beginning of a long history of legal troubles for the Stones, particularly for Keith Richards, who would face multiple arrests for heroin possession throughout the 1970s. The incident also made them even more popular, proving that rock music and controversy were inseparable. More than 50 years later, the Redlands drug bust remains one of the most infamous scandals in rock history. What was meant to be a career-ending scandal only made the Rolling Stones even more legendary, ensuring that their bad boy image would live on for generations.